Hello world, hello world. Welcome back to my channel. Call me Biz. Mr. George Carlin. Rest in peace, by the way. This is George Carlin on soft language, alright? Y'all know I gotta give y'all a weekly dose of George Carlin. Anyways, look, if you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, let me know you were here, alright? No more ghost watching. If you ain't got nothing to say, just be like I was here. That's love. Let's go ahead and watch.
I don't like words that hide the truth. I don't like words that conceal reality. I don't like euphemisms or euphemistic language. And American English is loaded with euphemisms because Americans have a lot of trouble dealing with reality. Americans have trouble facing the truth. So they invent a kind of a soft language to protect themselves from it. And it gets worse with every generation. For some reason, it just keeps getting worse. I'll give you an example of that. There's a condition in combat. Most people know about it. It's when a fighting person's nervous system has been stressed to its absolute peak and maximum, can't take any more input. The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War, that condition was called shell shock. Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables. Shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much.
Change.
Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea, 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time, and the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. Hey, we're up to 8 syllables now.
Damn.
And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car.
Yeah, confusion.
Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time. I'll bet you that. I'll bet you that.
He's right. He's right. They can mask a lot of things with language.
But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life. And it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example. Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue. I wasn't notified of this. No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance.
What?
The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny. Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation.
I never heard that.
Room service became guest room dining. And constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And they're broke. They're broke. They don't have a negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. You know, fired. Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area. So many people are no longer viable members of the workforce.
Yo, it's
Smug,
crazy.
greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie. It engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it to us, do they? Never mention that part of it. And
He's paying some balls. He's paying some balls.
And some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Like on the airlines, they say they want a preboard. Well, what the hell is preboard? What does that mean? To get on before you get on? They say they're going to preboard those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples. Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you?
Disabled.
How about differently abled? I've heard them called that, differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, cousin, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. We have no more deaf people in this country, hearing impaired. No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that. Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits. It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient. And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We shipped them all away, and we brought in these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase? Bloodless, lifeless. No pulse in one of them. A senior citizen. But I've accepted that one. I've come to terms with it. I know it's here to stay. We'll never get rid of it. That's what they're going to be called, so I'll relax on that. But the one I do resist, the one I keep resisting, is when they look at an old guy and they'll say, look at him, Dan. He's 90 years young. Imagine the fear of aging that reveals. To not even be able to use the word old to describe someone, to have to use an antonym. And fear of aging is natural, it's universal, isn't it? We all have that. No one wants to get old, no one wants to die, but we do. So we bullshit ourselves. I started bullshitting myself when I got to my 40s. As soon as I was in my 40s, I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds a little better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer.
Exactly.
Bullshit, I'm getting old. And it's okay, because thanks to our fear of death in this country, I won't have to die. I'll pass away. Or I'll expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, they'll call it a terminal episode. The insurance company will refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. I'm telling you, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, maybe not vomit. Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protein spill. Thank you all.
America is all about word salad. Like, that's all America is all about. Even like people who live in California, they'll give you 90 fucking words to describe them being a fucking bartender. You're a bartender. Like, it's just, everybody got to sound important, but other than that, you know, like, everything have its own lingo, you know. Cops, they have their own language that they speak to confuse you. The courts got their own language, you feel me? There's English, and then there's the other shit, right? And the other shit is slowly starting to like creep into everyday life. And not only that, everyone is so fucking sensitive. That's why soft language exists, because whoever it may be, right, is thinking, look, these people, they're weaker and weaker. Let's not offend them. Let's not shake no trees. Let's soften the blows. And basically, I feel like, the language that you use, that's what creates the reality around you, right? If we are constantly using language that is pretty much false. Basically, what we're doing, we're putting a blindfold in front of ourselves. It's just like Cat Williams said when they say on the news that they just killed 30 insurgents. You're thinking to yourself, I don't know what the fucking insurgent is. You feel me? Come to find out, they're just killing regular motherfuckers. Niggas with babies and shit. Motherfuckers like playing it in the courts because they ain't no fucking army. They're just out here killing regular motherfuckers. You feel me? But the language that's being used, you don't even know what the fuck is going on because there's a veil, right? So they could get you to agree with a whole bunch of shit. That's why a lot of people, man, they do this in the music industry. They do this in entertainment. Everyone in entertainment, like, you read a contract, you don't understand what the fuck this shit is saying. It's saying a whole bunch of nothing. It's basically saying you are selling your soul, right? In language that you don't understand unless you're a fucking lawyer. Y'all haven't noticed that everybody who ever represents themselves in court fucking lose? Every fucking time, because there's a language being spoken in there that unless you're a lawyer, you went through years and years and years and years and years of study, you won't understand that shit. Like, it's crazy. And now we have, you know, like fat phobic, all this shit. We have a whole bunch of different language that's just changing what things are. Now people aren't allowed to be fat no more. You know, certain words are not allowed anymore, especially with the, you know, alphabet community. Pronouns are being changed. Everything is being changed. The language is constantly changing to shield us away from reality. And once you just come out and then you're just blatant with what the truth is, people look at you like sideways, like you're fucking crazy. That's what they doing now. They are making normal people sound fucking crazy when you say the most basic shit, just because the language is being twisted and is being... I seen this video the other day. What is it? A zoophile? Like this girl. She's attracted to dogs and she has sex with dogs. And then the first example she brought up, she was like, remember when gay people were, and I always say this shit is a slippery slope. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile, right? Soon, what's next? All right, you let people do whatever they want. They're going to keep trying to... All right, so if you say this person could live this way because that's their right, now you had this person saying that's my right to fuck dogs, right? And we have people are saying, well, I'm not a pedophile. I'm just attracted to young... This shit don't stop. The language, I'm telling you, the language that's being used is manipulating and confusing people, and it's disarming you, right? It's making you think some shit that you would have thought was fucked up if you heard it blatantly for what it is. When they twist it around and make it sound like it's nothing, like it's innocent, you're disarmed now. And that shit works, especially on women. Like, you feel me? Anyways, y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. It's a great conversation to have. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. And I'll see y'all in the next one. And guess what? You better beat up. Peace.